Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in. I'm back for round two of my venting sessions today, man. So hopefully y'all got about an hour to spare, man. I got some things once again that I must get off my chest. Like I said, knowledge is infinite. We always got something to pull from in regards to inspiration and motivation and topics and subjects and all that good stuff, man. So we always got something we can tap into because knowledge is infinite. So there is no such thing as writer's block. You know, we always got topics and subject matters to discuss, man. Knowledge is infinite, man. So how y'all living? Hope y'all got some time for round two, man. I got to build, got to vent, got to get some things off my chest. Andronicus, Magic Realms, peace. What's going on? What's the word? Maze, peace. What's happening? Man, vent mode, y'all know how I go, man. I get inspired, man, and then there's some things that I just got to touch on, tap into once I get inspired, man. Once I get motivated. Chanel, Peach Queen, what's happening? And we always seem to go back to the topic of, you know, family, friends, peers, things of that nature, man. So it's something that I was just thinking about, and I gotta tap in with y'all, man, to get it off my chest. Terenzo, my brother, peace, definitely. Round two. Beautiful Goddess Keys, Miss Donnie, Peach Queens, what's happening? Jermaine, peace, my brother, what's the word? What's happening? So we gotta deal with those close to us, man, closest to us. That's where we gonna find the true snakes. Wisely G's, peace, what's happening? DJ Elmo, peace. Round two, like I said, knowledge is infinite. We always got things we can talk about. When you always learn and see, listen, this is what's good about valuing and prioritizing knowledge and information and just thinking. Always got things I can talk about and discuss because I'm always tapped in. I'm always learning. I'm always observing, you know, so I always got things I can tap into, man. I can talk about stuff every day, all day because I'm always learning. I'm always observing, man. I'm always just perceiving things in a different light, you know, so I'm always tapped in, man, because again, it's infinite. Knowledge is infinite, man. Y'all know the phrase. Knowledge is infinite. Knowledge is infinite. TZ, Ray Shine, peace. What's happening? Job Films, what's happening? What's the word? And I saw that Haiti got hit with an earthquake. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the people in Haiti. Y'all already know what's going on, man. Or is that what? Yeah. Peace to the people in Haiti, man. Another earthquake. Another earthquake that did some damage to Haiti. So peace to all the people in Haiti, man. Peace to the people. Roderick, peace. What's happening? Andronicus, for sure. 100%. 100%. Lindell, peace. What's happening? That phone trying to stop you from being great. That phone don't want you to hear the message, man. The phone don't want you to tap in. That's what's happening. You know how it is, big brother. Big brother is watching. Big brother is listening. Trying to prevent you from being great, man. But we gotta talk, man. We gotta build. And I got to encourage people, man, to continue doing what it is that you need to do and things of that nature, man. So somebody was asking for some advice today. They was asking for some advice on just veganism. They was thinking about making a transition and things like that, man. And I pretty much was offering my advice. And I realized one of the things that I said was going to be the hardest in regards to making that transition, it didn't have anything to do with like the actual transition from a meat-based lifestyle to a vegan lifestyle. I was like, the hardest part is going to be to deal with your family members, to deal with the friends, the people around you in regards to making that transition. Now, I just thought about just how sad that was for me to have to say that. The hardest part about transitioning to a healthier lifestyle is when you introduce it to those around you. And I was like, man, that's crazy that was the thing I told her to watch out for the most in regards to making that transition. Mac, peace, what's happening? And that just got me to thinking, man, like it's sad. It's sad, man, when you come into knowledge itself, when you come into information that differs from the norm, when you just start to evolve as a person, especially when you are younger, it's like you are afraid to share some of that information. You are afraid to evolve and present the new you to the people around you. It's like you're afraid to do it. And I'm talking about the young bulls. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, you don't really care about that type of stuff. You don't care about that type of nonsense. But the young bulls, a lot of times they are affected by that. You know what I'm saying? You 16, you 17, you may have came across a piece of information that could be life-changing, but you are afraid of how your peers are going to view you. You are afraid of how, you know what I'm saying, your family are going to view you. You don't feel like they will accept you if you present this new information or this new lifestyle, this new culture to them. You 15, you 16. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of things in our community don't change as rapidly as they should, because these 14, these 15-year-olds, man, they be coming across this information and they try to present it to the parents, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, and they get shunned for the most part. And y'all heard me talking in my previous stream about all the weak advice I was getting from elder black men back in the day when I was really fighting against the system, you know, discrimination and all of that. And all the black dudes that was around me, the elder black men that I was looking up to, or that I should be looking up to, was telling me to do things like cut my hair and all this type of nonsense. They wasn't encouraging me to do for myself, to work for myself. They was encouraging me. They was encouraging me to integrate with white society, get a job in white society, and utilize that job to, you know what I'm saying, earn a decent living and take care of your family, this, that, and the third. They were not encouraging me to start my own business. They were not encouraging me to take my skills and my talents and utilize that to teach my people. They wasn't encouraging me to do that. And I was like, man, that's ridiculous, man. That's sad. So we got to really shift that, man. We got to shift the paradigm in regards to like the advice that we giving the young bulls, man. I feel like we should always advise the young bulls to do for self, no matter how hard it may be, no matter how unrealistic it may seem. I feel like that's always the best advice to give the young bulls, man. I feel like that's always the best advice, man. I feel like the best advice is to always encourage that young bull, man. Look, do for self. Do for self. You want to listen, you want to go to school, you want to be a doctor, cool. All right, go use their education. Then once you be certified, open up your own practice. We should always encourage them to do that. Whatever it is that they want to do, we should always encourage them to do it on their own. Find a way to where they can own it. Should always encourage that. We should always encourage that. I don't care how unpopular this is. We should always be encouraging them to do that, man. We got enough slaves. We got enough people. We got enough black people that's content with enriching these white folks. We got enough of that. We got enough of that. We don't need any more of that. We don't need any more black people that's cool with making these white folks a lot of money and building up their empires and their corporations. We got enough of that. I think it's safe to say we can start encouraging more black people to be owners, to boss up, to invest, things like that, to be self-sufficient. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that we can encourage more to do that. We got enough, man. We got enough, as I like to call them, slaves. I never forget it. I got an argument with my moms, man. I pretty much called them slaves. This is when I was young. I'm telling y'all, when I was young, man, my energy, I was way more rebellious. I didn't sugarcoat anything, no matter who I was talking to. Back in the day, man, it was like maybe this might have been about 6-7 years ago. Might have been longer than that, but I got into an argument with my moms. I said, man, I said every time you go and clock in for that corporation, I mean, that's you a slave. You a slave. And what's sad is, like, she felt some type of way about what I said, but my pops understood where I was coming from, and he actually agreed with what I said. I said, man, you not free. You don't have freedom on this. Like, they telling you when to come into work. They telling you when you're gonna take your lunch break. And then if they ask you to stay for that overtime, they're gonna put that pressure on you and you're gonna stay over. You don't have freedom. You don't have no control over that. They control you. Therefore, you are a slave. You're just getting paid for it. You're a paid slave. You're a paid slave. Like, I literally I was telling them that. And this was right around the time, man, I was in college, man. So y'all already know where that was stemming from. You already know where that was stemming from. I was like, man, at the end of the day, I'm going to get this piece of paper to be a slave. I'm not with that, man. I'm not with that. That ain't the end goal for this. I'm not about to get this piece of paper and then go find a job to clock in for that corporation. That's slavery to me. That was slavery to me. I said, I'd rather value ownership. I'd rather be self-sufficient. I'd rather be in control. I don't want to be a slave. When you clocking in for somebody else, that's slavery to me. They telling you when you can eat your lunch, that's slavery to me. And I told her that my pops he couldn't even argue with it. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it from a logical standpoint, like everything that I was saying, he was like, it's technically true. It's technically true. And that's just what it was, man. Like I used to speak my mind heavily, man. I was like, I wasn't going for a lot of stuff back in the day, man. A lot of people couldn't handle that. And there was a lot of people that was around me. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody had something to say in regards to the things that I was doing, the way that I moved. Then when I come and say something, y'all know how it is. When you come and say something, when you speak your mind, then now all of a sudden you the villain, you the bad guy. But everybody else can speak their mind when you making changes, when you evolving. They got something to say and it's cool. You should accept that. You should be able to accept the criticism that comes your way. But then when you dish out the criticism, notice nobody can take the criticism when you dish it out. Nobody can take the criticism. Nobody can take the criticism when you dish it out. But when they dishing it to you, it's all good. It's almost like when you used to joke back in the day. You had people that they could do all the joking. They could joke on people all day. But then when the jokes came back to them, they got in their feelings, they got emotional. So it's the same way with the criticism, man. It's the same way with dealing with family members, friends, peers, etc., etc. They cool when it's time for them to tell you about your life. But when you tell them about their life, it's a problem. You need to shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about and this, that, and the third. But they got your life figured out. They got your life mastered. They know what's best for you. But then when you add your input in regards to how they moving and how you feel like it's wrong and incorrect and it's an error, you the villain. You the bad guy. You the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But you doing something like changing the way that you eating, and now that everybody got something to say. Everybody's an expert. Everybody is an expert. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I realized when I was evolving and making changes. When I had questions about religion, when I was like, man, I'm done with religion, I realized I didn't realize at that time I had a lot of religious experts around me. But all of a sudden, when I was like, man, this religion is garbage, now everybody was Bible experts at that time. You wasn't Bible experts before then, but when I decided to make the change, everybody became a Bible expert when they saw me, you know what I'm saying, removing myself from religion. Everybody's a Bible expert now. Everybody is an expert on religion all of a sudden now. You know what I'm saying? That happened. Then when I made the transition to the vegan vegetarian lifestyle, now all of a sudden everybody is an expert on nutrition. Everybody expert on nutrition. So you went from experts on the Bible and religion to experts in nutrition when I decided to make that transition. So every transition I decided to make, all of a sudden, everybody around me became an expert on those fields. They had something to say. They have something to say. Got time. Who has time for that? Who has time for that, man? Who has time for that? I don't. You know, but when you are a youngin', you will be hard, like that stuff is going to consume you. That energy will consume you, especially when you're forced to deal with your fam at that particular point. You may be living under their roof and things of that nature. Like you forced to deal with that type of energy, man. You don't really have anywhere you can go, so you think. You know what I'm saying? So that's messed up. I feel like a lot of adults need to be more open to their children evolving. And that's a problem. Be more open to your children evolving, man. They supposed to evolve. They supposed to be better than you. They supposed to be smarter than you. Don't hate on them when they actually manifest that. You know what I'm saying? When they actually put that into motion. When they actually are striving to be better, to be wiser. That's what they supposed to do. You have a seed. Why would you hate on them when they are showing that they are more intelligent, being wiser, being smarter than you were? So a lot of times people say that. A lot of times parents say that. But then when a child actually starts putting it in motion, they hate and they can't stand it. They can't stand it. Yeah, you made like you was eating all this garbage food and your health declined as a parent. Then you see your child at 20, at 19, at 18, making transitions to ensure that they don't come down with the same ailments that you suffering from. That ain't a time to hate. You should be proud. Like, yes, now my son, now my daughter ain't got to suffer from the same ailments that I'm suffering from because they changed it up early. Don't hate on them. Don't be jealous. Don't be envious. Like, man, I wish I would have been able to do it. I wish I had the opportunity to make those changes when I was 19 and 18, but I could. No, don't do that. Don't do that, man. Just applaud. Applaud the child. All right, they making changes. They changing the way they eating at 19. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm proud to see that. Matter of fact, that's going to inspire me as a parent, man. They changing the way they eating. I'm gonna follow suit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna change. I need to change what I'm doing so I can be around. Don't hate on them, though. Don't hate on them. Oh, Sharif, man, I was 100%. I was straight ready for all types of war, physically and mentally, when I was getting the knowledge. And again, that was a phase. That was a phase. And like nowadays, I mean, I still be ready for it, but I pick and choose the battles wisely. Santriez, peace. What's happening? Appreciate you tapping in, man. We all good over this way. We all good. But yeah, when I first got the information, man, I was ready for war, no matter the information that came my way. Once I started learning the truth and realized everything that I had been taught was a lie, I was all game. I was all for it. I was ready for any type of action. I wanted all type of smoke. I was entering all type of debates online, man. I was ready for it. Mark, peace, what's happening? I was ready for it, and it went down. It went down a lot of times. Yeah, Justin, for sure, man. And that's what I'm saying, man. Everybody got your life planned out for you. And then when you say, nah, I got my own life planned out, write my history in advance. See, I got my own life planned out. And they got the nerve to tell you what you got planned for yourself is incorrect. This is what you need to do. Nah, man, come on, chill all that out, man. You the best knower of oneself. Nobody know you better than you, but everybody think they got you figured out. Everybody think they got you figured out. Everybody think they got you figured out. Shakir, peace, what's happening? And that's what I'm talking about, Shakir. A lot of times, man, these parents be holding the child back. You know what I'm saying? And that sets us back as a people. If you see your child out here striving to be great and do great things, don't discourage him. You see your child, man, he not trying to be a slave. She not trying to be a slave for corporate America. She got aspirations to do her own thing. Don't discourage her from doing that, because believe it or not, your influence is powerful in regards to whether or not she gonna follow through. She gonna listen to you. When you discourage her, she's taking that to heart, because you mom dukes, you pops. She's taking it to heart. So she may just listen to what it is that you're saying. She's 14, she's 15. If you tell her that that's not a good idea, you want to go get you a job, the illusion of security. You want to go get a job. That may resonate with her because it's coming from people that she trusts. So no, when they expressing to you like, I'm not trying to be a slave for corporate America. Here's my idea. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this into motion. This is how I'm going to go about it. Encourage it. Support it. That's what you do. A lot of times parents ain't known that. Parents ain't know that. The slave mentality's got to die. Slave mentality's got to die. I'm sick of the slave mentality when it comes to black people. The slave mentality got to die. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the advice that we giving these children, man, and wonder why things ain't changing because of the advice that we give them, man. The advice is trash out here, man. The advice, whether it's the way to eat, the way to go about earning your revenue, being in relationships, all the advice we tend to give the youth out here is just garbage for the most part, man. It's just trash advice, man. And then we are just bad examples collectively, man, as adults, man. And they looking up and they seeing that. Children are confused. They don't know what to do just off of analyzing the adults, man. They seeing some of everything. They seeing a bunch of contradictions, a bunch of hypocrites. They seeing that. That's all they seeing. So they confused. So when they confused, they like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to just pave my own way. I'm going to just do whatever I feel like doing. I'm going to just do whatever I feel like doing, because it seems like that's what the adults doing. They just contradicting themselves. They telling me to do one thing. They doing a total opposite. So why don't I just do whatever I want to do and say whatever I want to say? Nice, for sure, man. I changed my eating up right at like 2021. It might have been 19. I can't really even remember. It was like 19, 20, 21. That's when I changed up my eating. So you can already imagine, you know what I'm saying, the type of backlash that I was getting. That's why I try to tell everybody, man, I went vegetarian, vegan. Like I dropped that stuff when it wasn't even popular. Like some of the foods that you can eat now as a like vegan, some of that stuff didn't exist when I made the decision to transition. Like you couldn't go to a fast food joint and get a Beyond Burger, an Impossible Burger, Impossible Whopper and stuff like that. You couldn't even go to the store and get get the Beyond Crumbles and the Impossible Crumbles, stuff like that. You couldn't do that when I decided to make the transition. I literally was having to explain to people, and I still to this day, but it was more, I had to explain it more back then, like what a vegan actually meant. People ain't even know what that word meant. When I would tell people back then, about 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago, like, man, I'm vegan. They like, man, what that mean? They knew what vegetarian was, but they like vegan, man. Like they thought it was the same exact thing. They thought it was the same thing. So I was having to break it down. You know what I'm saying? People didn't even know what it was. So you can just imagine the type of backlash I was receiving. And early on, that backlash was affecting me, man. It was affecting me. It was like it was frustrating. it was frustrating, man, because you already feel like it's me against the world when you a black person in America. So then now you just feel like everybody around you is also against you. It's like, come on now. Just support the change, man. Just because you ain't got nothing cool to say about what I'm doing, just be quiet, man. I ain't telling you you need to eat this way. Even though it benefits you, I'm just making this transition for me. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't want to be criticized every time. I don't want somebody, like, I don't have time to be explaining myself every time I choose to eat fruits for lunch and stuff like that. Like, that was starting to bother me and it was frustrating me. And a lot of times that's when that warrior mentality would come out. Like, look, man, y'all about to quit questioning me because I'm deciding to eat fruits. It ain't no meat on my plate. There ain't no dairy on my plate. You know what I'm saying? Stop questioning me. This is just what I want to eat. I don't have to explain why I want to eat this to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff started to get on my nerves, man, early on when I was a youngin', making that transition and making that decision. It's getting on my nerves heavy. You know what I'm saying? It was bothering me heavy. Like, every time, like, you got your little plate of food and people like, that's all you eating, man. Yes. Go ahead, leave me alone. Mind your business, man. I'm already a reserved person, so I don't want you in my business anyway. So that was drawing unnecessary attention to me, and I couldn't stand that. I'm already reserved, man. So when I was making these transitions, man, people was just getting into my business, and I already never liked that. So that just made it even worse. I'm like, dog, y'all gonna have to chill. Y'all gonna have to chill. So I ain't had time for that, man. I ain't had time for that logic. Peace. What's happening? So that, I ain't gonna even lie, that was like real hard in the beginning, man, because I'm already reserved. I already, you know what I'm saying, really don't too much care to have a lot of people in my mix. You know what I'm saying? And that was just involving people. Like, that was just opening the door for people to just get in my business. Hey, man, that dude ain't got no meat on his plate. Why? And they come out and ask you. It's like, all right, man, it's really none of your business. Jamal, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. All these other coaches, all these other ethnic groups, they not trying to kick their kids out the crib at 18. They not. And it's a selective few black folks that don't be doing that as well. But, man, they trying to rush kick their kid out the house 18, 21. Man, nah, these other coaches and ethnic groups not doing it. Man, they kid live with them all the way up until like 30, until they get themselves situated to where when they go out and face the world, then they good. They can buy whatever house they want to buy. They can get whatever car they want to get. They not finna have to suffer and struggle. We ain't doing that. And then on the flip side, we want to make fun of the adult that's at the crib. You know what I'm saying? That's possibly doing that. Oh, you still living with your parents? Wham. Like, we want to make fun of that. See, in the black community, we like to make fun of people for having good parents. That's what we do. Your parents doing what they supposed to do in the black community. People joke on you for that. People joke on you for that. Like, they make fun of you for that. Oh, they still let you live at the crib, or they buying you this, that, and the third. Like, that I'm telling you, in the black community, that's a negative. That's how conditioned we are. That's how brainwashed we are. When your parents are actually doing a decent job, you might not fit in. You might not fit in with your own people. That's the world we live in. Wisely, it's terrible advice, man. It's terrible advice. And like I said, we should stop giving the youth that, because by nature, the youth, like I said, when we was young, we all, like Sharifman even said, when we was young, we first got this knowledge, we were rebellious. When you go look at a lot of the movements from back in the day, even Elijah Muhammad said it. He was like, man, we gonna focus on the babies. He's like, man, listen, the adults, they are lost cause. We gonna teach the babies. Even the 5%, like the fathers, we gonna teach the babies. You teach the babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you give the babies this information, the babies are going to be rebellious by nature. So they gonna take that information. They gonna do what's right with that information. It's when they come across these adults that's all passive and slave minded that it slows it down. We would have been had a revolution, man, if we just let the youth take the information and do what's necessary with it, or do what they want to do with it. They gonna take that information. They gonna go crazy with it. Just like when I got the information, I was ready to go crazy with it, but everybody was telling me to calm down. If they would have just let me ride out with the information, man, ain't no telling what I would have did. But everybody telling you to calm down. All those people tell calm down. Man, if we just let the youth rock when we give them the information, I'm telling y'all, man, listen, the revolution been happening. It would have been happening. The youth be ready, man. I'm telling, man, these young boys, they be ready. They be ready. Oh, man, you telling me black people is powerful? If we come together, all right, cool. They ready to go. They ready to go because that's how I was. But no, we pass it. We like, hey, you need to watch what you saying on. You need to watch what you saying, because if they see what you saying, then they gonna do this, that, and the third to you. We instilling that fear in them, the fear that they didn't have at first, but now we instilling the fear. We programming that fear inside of them. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. We instilling the fear in them. All right, hey, don't tell. Hey, now I gave you this information, but watch where you speak this information, because they watching, they listen. What type of nonsense is that? Why give them the information if they can't openly express what they have learned from you? They don't understand that. So then they're going to start to see that it's pointless to get this information. And that's exactly what happened. So you telling them all of this stuff about their history. And then yet in the same breath, you telling them they can't do nothing with that information. Because if they speak on this information on certain platforms, then they're going to get assassinated. They're going to get banned. They're going to get followed. They're going to get this, that, and the third. So it's like, what message are you trying to get across? Yeah, hear this information, but keep it on the low. Keep it in secret. Man, these young boys don't know how to do that. These young boys want to take this information that they just learned about their history, about people that look like them, and they want to teach it. They want to talk about it. They don't want to keep that to themselves. They ready to share this information. Y'all know how a kid is, man. When you was a kid and you learned something, you couldn't wait to tell somebody what you learned. You could not wait to share that information, man. As a kid, man, you learn how you learned that 7 times 7 was 49. You couldn't wait to go to the crib and tell everybody that you know what 7 times 7 is. It's 49. You couldn't wait to show and prove what you learned. Couldn't wait to do it. That is how the youth is. They can't wait to tell somebody what they just learned. Man, I just learned about black people being gods, man. I'm ready to teach this information. Let me get on Facebook. Let me get online. Somebody got to hear this. Somebody got to hear this. I can't sit on this information. I can't do it. That's how young folks is, because that's how I was when I got the information. I'm like, man, somebody got to hear this information. It changed my life, so I'm pretty sure it can change somebody else's life too. That's how I was. But no, we tell them to slow down. We telling the youth, slow down, chill out. You don't need to be doing all that. That's the problem. That's the problem, Michael, man, for sure. Landlord, I know a few cases like that. BB, the grass eater, you eating like a rabbit, all that type of stuff, man. All that type of nonsense. Yeah, it hurts. That's what I used to be on, man. That's what I used to be on for sure. Mark, peace, what's happening? Walker, peace, what's going on? I'm getting into the comments now because I had to vent real quick. Now I'm tapping into some of the comments, man. Jamal, you say trying to knock you off your square with the peer pressure. Like I said, peer pressure is real, and we don't fall victim to it. That's why that's one quality about myself that I'm pretty fond of. I never fell victim to the peer pressure, because I could have easily been living another way of life, and I chose not to. I did the opposite of a lot of people that was around me. So I commend myself on being strong enough to resist the peer pressure. A lot of brothers my age at that time weren't able to do that. They weren't able to do that. I wasn't out here chasing women and things like that. I was chasing information. I was chasing knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And with chasing knowledge and information, things just came to me. But I wasn't out here looking for that. I wasn't out here searching for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of times when I see a lot of brothers, especially young brothers, dedicating all their time and energy to finding a woman, like, man, slow down, man. Slow down. Especially when you in your early 20s, like you 19, you 18, you 20, you 21, man, do the knowledge. Solidify and establish your foundation as a man. So do the knowledge, man. Learn something. Learn something of value, man. Learn how to eat correctly. Learn your history. Learn the truth about the black man. Like, do that. Learn the truth about the universe. You know what I'm saying? Master science, master math, things of that nature. Master your story. That's what you be focused on. That's what you should be focused on. You don't need to be chasing women at that point in time. You don't need to be doing that. You don't need to be doing that. If it's anything that you need at that particular age, it's going to come to you. You just focus on that stuff, man. You focus on learning. You focus on doing what you need to do. As a man, establish yourself. Establish yourself. Those are some critical years right there, man. Your early 20s, man, or your late teens. Critical years for you. Black man, like, please solidify your foundation and focus on yourself. You ain't got to be out here chasing no women, man. You ain't got to do that. You don't have to do that, man. Solidify your foundation, man. Solidify your foundation. Learn some things. So therefore, when it's time to be in that relationship, there it is. You the foundation. You got the information. You got the principles. You got the laws. You got the commandments. You got the rules and regulations. You got the culture. You bringing all that with you. You bringing all that with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, please take that time out to learn, man. Just do the knowledge, man. Those are some critical times in your life, man. Critical years. Late teens, them early 20s for the black man, man. A lot of times we waste those years, man. We getting sloppy drunk, clubbing, doing all that type of nonsense, man. No, don't do that. You a young boy and that's your age bracket right now. Stop doing all. Stop all that, man. Stop all that. That's destroying you. That's destroying you. It's killing you. You don't need to be doing all that, man. Pick up some books. Watch some documentaries, man. Listen to some of the great elders and ancestors. Listen to their speeches on YouTube, things of that nature. Study them. Y'all see two brothers behind me. Study them. Do that type of stuff, man, when you a youngin'. That's solidifying and that's establishing that foundation. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you need to be spending them early 20s doing. But like I said, a lot of times we waste that time. We waste those years, man. Literally. You know what I'm saying? We waste it, literally. Most of those years. That's not the time for that. And they got you thinking that if you sit around and you would prefer to read and do things like that in your early 20s, that you're boring. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's not boring at all. You having a lot of fun, man. You learning things that other people can't fathom. That other people your age, like they not striving to learn. So therefore, when y'all getting y'all thing, they trying to catch up. They trying to catch up with you now. You spent your 20s doing the knowledge. You spent your 20s learning, establishing your foundation. Now they trying to do that in their 30s. So they got to catch up to you. They 10 years behind. They 10 years behind. You 10 years ahead of them. You 10 years ahead of them in regards to that knowledge and that wisdom and putting things into motion. They trying to catch up. So nah, man, spend that time doing that knowledge, man. Spend that time figuring out who you are, what you want to be, who you want to be. And then start living out that reality, man. Oh, Jamal, man, putting them to sleep big time, man. All of it, man. Putting them to sleep. I'm talking about knocking them out. TKO. TKO. Oh, not Anias, man. I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing that joint. I already know. I was getting that same type of energy. Redbird for sure, man. I'm already knowing. And that's the thing. I think Joe Budden said, why try to fit in when you a standout? You know what I'm saying? He said that back in the day when he was nice with the pen. Why try to fit in when you a standout? I took that lyric to heart, man. I took that lyric to heart. I'm like, dude, like when you just different, and this ain't even saying that the different is better. When you just a different person, you got to accept that. And I accepted that a long time ago, man. I'm just different. I'm different from most people my age. Like, for the most part, when I come into contact with a person that's my age, I'm different. I accepted that reality. I accepted it. Sometimes that's just what you got to do. And then I accepted the fact that I'm just different from most people in general. And I accepted that reality. And it is what it is. I'm just different. I'm different. And I'm pretty sure most of y'all on the stream, that's one of the reasons why y'all gravitate towards this content. Because y'all feel like y'all different. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to accept that reality. We got to accept that reality. See, social media connects us. But if we didn't have social media, we'd just have to be dealing with the fact that we're different. You know what I'm saying? You would be thinking that you alone. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. Like, man, I'm just different. There ain't nobody around me that's on what I'm on. That's the blessing of like social media. You can see everybody else that's struggling with the same type of situation. You can see them. You can chop it up with them. You can connect. You can chat with them and things like that. So you know that you're not alone. You know? So it's a lot of us in the same boat. Problem of it is we are a small minority, so we spread out. So it's never going to be a lot of us in one particular area in regards to like cities and places where we live. It's never going to be a large percentage of us. Never going to be a large percentage of our type of mentality, our type of energy at the same spot, the same place. You will be hard pressed to find a city or a town where everybody is on this same type of vibe that we on. We are going to be the minority no matter where we go. And literally everywhere I go, I'm like the minority. Even when I go out of town, see my people's out of town down south, I'm still the minority in regards to my thinking pattern, in regards to how I move, how I eat. I'm the minority. So you just got to accept that reality. It is not a large percentage of us. We spread out. Now on social media, it looks like it's a lot of us. but we all in different areas. I guarantee y'all, we all in different cities. We all in different cities. And I guarantee y'all can vouch for the people in y'all cities don't be on the same type of stuff that we on right now. I guarantee the people in St. Louis, for the most part, where I'm at, don't be on this type of vibe. Don't be on it. Sneaky, that's crazy. You say my ex charged me rent while bedridden. After a few months, we split. She got another guy just posted there bringing her misery for free. And they cool with that. See, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. That's crazy. That's just crazy. That's crazy to me, man. That's crazy. All right, Akuma, what you static? Peace. What's happening? Akuma, what you say? You say, let's make this a real conversation. Mom asked me when I was like 18, how would you feel if me and dude has a kid? You're not gonna ask me about being married first. And now that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Ask about dude having a kid. Her and dude having a kid. That's interesting. Akuma, yeah, the whole community, the whole village needs healing, you know. But then when you try to tell people that collectively they're not trying to hear what we saying. They're not trying to hear it. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to heal the people that don't think they need to be healed in the first place. So people don't even be thinking that they sick when they obviously are sick. When it's obvious that they are sick, a lot of people don't think that they sick right now. And that's something that we struggle with. So it's hard to convince these people to get any type of healing, get any type of help when they don't think they need it. You know what I'm saying? They don't think anything is wrong. And that's part of the problem. Hurts. It's very corny, but as a youngin', you know what I'm saying, like 10, 11 years old, I can see how it affects the young mind at that particular stage in their life. Like the older you get, the more peer pressure is corny. But the younger you are, you can understand it. Because for the most part, when you're a young boy, you striving to fit in. Just as a child in general, like your whole motive is to fit in. Like you want to fit in for the most part. You grow older, you start to distance yourself from that nonsense, at least some of us. But as a young, like 8, 9, 7, like you see all the other kids playing over here and ain't nobody fooling with you like that. That's hurting you. You know what I'm saying? So the older you get, the more corny it is to be affected by peer pressure. But the younger, like I can understand it from a younger generation standpoint, like the 8, 7, 9-year-olds from that standpoint. But yeah, the older you get, it's definitely corny. Like I definitely don't care what people around me are doing, man. Like you an adult and you still falling victim to peer pressure. That's tragic and trash. Like if I'm training somebody and they tell me that they slipped up, and I'll be like, well, Dad, why did you slip up? And they be like, well, we was out to eat and everybody was having this, that, and the third. I said, that don't mean just because everybody else was drinking don't mean you got to do it. Like, that's funny to me. Y'all know how many times I done been around alcohol and people drinking and people eating stuff that I don't eat. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And I never drank and never ate the food. That's, you know how easy that is for me? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't drink, man. I'm good. Simple, no. Like, I'm good. Simple. Simple, nah, I don't eat that. Simple. That's real simple, man. Game changer right there. Like, oh, man, nah, I'm good. I don't drink that. Oh, you want this hot dog? No, I don't eat that. I'm cool. But everybody else around me, if it's 20 people in there, 19 of them gonna eat the hot dog, gonna drink the alcohol. I'm the one person that's gonna be like, nah, and I'm good. I don't know, no matter where I go. I'm saying, no, I don't do that. I don't drink that. I don't eat that. That's everywhere I go. I don't care where we at. We out to eat. I'm like, man, ain't nothing on this menu for me. I'm gonna get the salad. I don't eat anything else that's on this menu. Yeah, I'm at the function, but it ain't nothing for me to eat, so I'm gonna get the salad. I don't care what y'all gotta say. I don't care what y'all got to say at all. I'm going to get the salad. Y'all came to a place. Y'all didn't consider if there were going to be any options for me. But it's cool. Every place got a salad. So I'm going to get the salad and I'm good. I ain't finna fuss about it. I ain't falling victim to the prayer. Oh, man, it's Mother's Day. It's fine, man. Just go ahead and get you. Man, nah, I'm good. It's to the point now people don't even try that peer pressure with me. They already know they're going to fail. All they can do is admire their strength because I'm not going to fall victim to it. Oh, Dizzy for sure. Best believe, man. I'm telling you, I already know chasing women is another form of peer pressure in the black community. Chasing women. I could have, like I said, I could have easily went down that route. Y'all heard me talk about just women when they physically attracted to you, just throwing themselves at you and things like that. Man, I could have easily been a savage out here, you know what I'm saying, in pursuit of happiness. That's what we call it, savage in pursuit of happiness. But it's like once I got to about 19, 20, I was like, man, you know what? That stuff is dead, man. Stuff is dead. Like, it really ain't even that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, if I need something, it's going to come to me. If I need something, it's going to come to me. What's more important now is all this information that I'm gathering, all this stuff that I'm learning. Like, this is actually going to be beneficial to me once I implement it, man. Learning how to eat, learning the truth about where my people came from and things like that. The glorious past, man, that we had. All of that type of information, man. That was more important. That was more important. So I ain't get caught up in that, man. In high school, I was living that life for a minute, but just due to the way I'm set up as a person, it never really got that serious for me, man. Because again, like I ain't too fond of people, so it didn't take much for me to lose interest. So I would lose interest quick because I'm like, as soon as you start calling me way too often, I'm annoyed with the situation. So the way that I'm set up as a person actually helped in preventing me from pursuing that type of lifestyle, because I'm telling you, man, I did not like to be bothered. I was always cool, you know what I'm saying, in my own little space, man. I feel like anytime people was tapping into my little space or my realm of reality repeatedly, I couldn't stand it. Like, you know what I'm saying, like we just saw each other, you know what I'm saying, we just was in school with each other and we were just talking at school. Why I need to talk to you on this phone for 2 hours? Like little stuff like that, it just started getting on my nerves. And I'm like, all right, I'm good on this. Couldn't do it. Yeah, amazing. And then once you create that own reality in that own world, they say you don't talk, you don't share anything with people, you closed up and all this type of stuff, man. Like, dude, because I was trying to share stuff with you, you kept making fun of my situation. Antoinette, Peace Queen, what's happening? Yeah, Andronicus, and I've always had a problem with that. They say your 20s is for fun. And normally when people say fun, they talking about going, like traveling, getting drunk, going out to club, like little stuff like that. If I said the 20s is dedicated to learning, people gonna be like, that's boring. Guarantee you. See, we think that when we retire, like we think learning is for somebody that's like 50, 60, they retire, got all time on their hands. That's what we envision. When we envision somebody sitting down reading and studying, we envision a very old person doing that. We don't envision a young person dedicating most of their time in the day to studying and to research. We thinking of a 50, 60-year-old that did all this work. Now they retired. Now they have time to study. That's what we think of. But when you go back to the ancient Egyptian mystery school system, man, you had to study for 30, 40 plus years to even be considered as knowing anything. You know what I'm saying? You had to start this early. But a lot of times, man, we think of a person that's studying, thinking of a person that's just learning, like we think of an older person. Like, nah, man. We think of our grandfather, you know what I'm saying, sitting around with that Bible on his lap, and that's all he reading is this Bible. That's what we think of. Nah, man, that's your 20s, it's your 30s. Because matter of fact, scientifically speaking, your younger years is the best time. That's the best time to gather this information. It's the best time as far as your memory, your mind being sharp. It's the sharpest when you are younger. Now, I'm not saying that it can't be sharp as you get older, because again, we defy all of that nonsense. But scientifically speaking, your mind is a lot sharper when you're younger. So that's the best time to do the knowledge, man. You're gonna more easily retain the information when you are younger. Your mind is real sharp as a youngin. So if it's any time to do the knowledge and gather information, is when you are a youngin. It's the best time to gather that information. That's why a lot of the information that I did back in the day is stuck with me, because I was doing it when I was young. My mind was the sharpest. When you start adulting out here, man, you start getting hit with a lot of other stressors, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Work and trying to pay bills and all that type of stuff, man. It's like, it's hard sometimes to just retain information. But when you was young and when you got when you don't have that much stress, when you don't have that much stress on you, man, you got a lot of room in that mind, a lot of room. So that's the best time to actually acquire the information, to be honest with you. But we done told them, nah, go get sloppy drunk. You know what I'm saying? Go party every other day. Like, man, come on, man. Come on now. Introverted, my sister. Big rare breed over here. Big rare breed. And I just accepted their reality. Hurts, we definitely need to encourage entrepreneurship more amongst our people, man. I'm one of the ones. And every time I go out and say it, I get the same responses from black people. Oh, man, everybody ain't cut out to be bosses. Soon as they hit me with that garbage line, I say, what percentage of America do we own as black people? That percentage is very minimal, it's very small. So when I say we can afford to have more entrepreneurs and bosses, I mean that. Because how much do we own here in the wilderness of North America? How much do we own? That percentage is garbage. So I think it's safe to say we can afford to have more bosses and more entrepreneurs, more owners. And then being self-sufficient don't necessarily mean you got to be a boss. It ain't necessarily what that means. So a lot of people don't even understand what that means. Yeah, Jamal, you'll say they only call us different because we speak our mind with true intentions. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. And then in regards to just my viewpoint on a lot of things in life, I already know it's untraditional, like, you know what I'm saying, unorthodox. I already know that. I already know that. When it comes to politics, when it comes to business, when it comes to health, I do not have the popular worldview. I do not have it. And I've just accepted that. Like, I do not have it. I do not have it. Like, when it's time to discuss politics, if I'm in a room with 10 people and we discussing politics, I'm not going to see it the way the 9 other people in the room see it. I already know it. I know that to be an actual fact. 100% of the time. We're not going to see it the same way, man. We're not going to see it. I'm going to see it the total opposite of the way they see it. And I'm talking about amongst my own people. I'll answer that for sure. And that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of dudes are declared to be different. And I'm pretty sure women are declared too. It's one thing for a person to tell you they different, but it's another thing for other people to let you know that you're different. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be professing, oh, I'm different. You know how when a dude spitting game to a woman, oh, I'm different from these other dudes, but he be the exact same. It's a different ball game when the other person lets you know that you are actually different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to, again, you got to brag and boast and let somebody know, like, I'm different. I've been told that. So now I'm just accepting the reality. But I feel like my view is the normal view and everybody else is unorthodox. So that's how I view it. That's how I view it. That's literally how I view it. I feel like, man, the way I'm seeing it is normal and rational. Like, I can't fathom how y'all seeing it the way that y'all are seeing it. Like they say if everybody is saying something, or if everybody's saying something about you, it must be true, things of that nature. Well, when it comes to things that people are out here believing, I don't find it to be true. If everybody is believing something to be true out here, 9 times out of 10 is false. It's a fabrication. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I pretty much view it. That's why I say if everybody is gravitating towards something, I'm not even going to bother going that way. I'm not even going to bother going that way. I'm not even going to bother. All right, everybody going down there, everybody flocking toward that. That means it's trouble that way. It's some trouble brewing that way. It's 100 people. They all done walk that way. They walking towards their death. I'm gonna go this other way. So I don't have time for that, man. I do not have time for that. If the masses of people are agreeing to something, I'm disagreeing with it. And sometimes it's just natural and it's normal, but a lot of times it comes after I look into the situation. After I look into the situation, I'm like, Dad, what is everybody on? Like, I don't agree with this. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how I'm rolling, man. That's pretty much how I've been rolling. Like, that's pretty much how I've been rolling. I don't have time to follow the status quo. Where has following the status quo got our people? Where has it got our people, man? We still getting, again, we still oppressed. We still getting shot and killed by the cops. We still dying of all type of ailments out here that we could prevent if we just make better choices. So where has following the status quo got my people? Where has it gotten my people? Where has following these mainstream religions gotten my people? Where has following the mainstream dietary advice gotten my people? Where has following politics and believing in politics gotten my people? Where has listening to a lot of mainstream music gotten my people? Where has watching mainstream TV gotten my people? Where has that gotten my people? So why would I follow the status quo? I'm going to just end up like everybody else. I don't want to end up like everybody else. So I realized that early, man. Listen, it's a reason why we one of the sickest countries. We one of the wealthiest nations, air quote. But then we also the sickest, one of the sickest. Make that make sense, man. We spend all this money on healthcare, but we are one of the sickest countries. And we suppose, y'all know where I'm going with this, spend all this money on healthcare, one of the sickest countries, but we supposed to trust that. Y'all spend all this money on healthcare, yet we still dying of ailments that can simply easily be prevented. And we supposed to trust y'all. Make that make sense. They've been spending all this money on healthcare, and now I'm supposed to trust y'all. And our health is steady declining. But I'm supposed to all of a sudden now trust y'all with my healthcare. Y'all have been spending all this money over the years on healthcare. And all our health is doing is declining as a nation, as a country. But now I'm supposed to trust y'all with my health. Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me. You got to be your own healthcare, man. You got to be your own healthcare first and foremost. Like, that's what you have to do. You have to be your own healthcare. Nobody got time for that, all that money that they spending. And we dying more rapidly. We dying younger of these ailments that used to attack just the elder population. Now it's people in their 30s, 20s dying of these same ailments, but y'all spending all this money on healthcare. And we supposed to trust the science. Stop playing. We supposed to trust the science. Really? Okay. All right. Stop playing with us, man. Oh, Redbird, I fool with Black Dot, 100%. I know exactly who Black Dot is, man. I know exactly who Black Dot is. I fool with Black Dot. Oh, introverted for sure. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, put that on the screen for the people. Put that on the screen for the people, man. Just so the people can see what you just said. Put that on the screen for them. They ain't never cared this much to help us out now, but when it comes to this situation, they want us lined up, offering to pay people's tuition and all this type of nonsense. Stop playing with me, man. But if we start talking about reparations, nope, we ain't giving y'all that. We ain't finna give y'all this handout. We ain't give y'all this. But y'all want to help us now. Now y'all care about us now. It's crazy, man. If y'all and it's crazy because if y'all into underground hip hop, it's a group called Zion I. The MC of that group, man, he just passed. You know what I'm saying? Rest in power to that brother, man. If y'all familiar with underground hip hop and y'all know a group by the name of Zion I, man, that brother that raps in that group, man, he passed. And he passed from complications of this particular virus. So they say. You know what I'm saying? And he was a real conscious brother. So I'm always skeptical when I see one of those type of brothers go down from complications of this particular situation that's going on out here, man. If you ain't never heard of Zion I, go listen to their joints and see the consciousness that I'm talking about. So I always feel like it's suspect when a brother like that goes down. King me for sure. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Most definitely, right and exact. Yeah, King me that. Yeah, that stimulus. And they think that they literally think that stimulus is enough to shut people up and keep them satisfied. So they thinking they doing something with that stimulus. They thinking they doing something with that stimulus. They think they doing something with that stimulus for sure. With those stimulus checks, I should say for sure. They most definitely think they doing something. Kuma for sure, man. They like I said, spending all this money on healthcare, man, and we still dying like rapidly of something as simple as heart disease. Something as simple as heart disease. That is essentially one of the easiest things to prevent and revert, like heart disease, heart problems, things of that nature. And y'all spending all this money when really the cure is real simple. You wouldn't have to spend all that money because the cure is simple. Redbird, man. I I saw somebody make a joke on Facebook and say, this virus is gonna have more strands than weed out here. Man, every time you look up, there's gonna be a new strand of this joint. Every time you look up, here's a different strand here, different strand there. Dude, like y'all can keep trying to instill all the fear that y'all want, man. But I'm cool, man. Y'all ain't spooking me out. I'm all right. My sis, fasting is like I say, fasting is the remedy. People don't want to do it though. I was talking about that earlier. Fasting is the remedy, and people just don't have the discipline to fast. People think they need food. Whole while the food is killing them. So I was talking about that earlier. Greg, I'm telling you, man. I like I said, man. I had pulled up some stats of the top 5 causes of death of Americans. Man, I think it was like heart disease. I think it was like cancer. I think it was diabetes. I think it was like accidents or something like that. And then I think it was maybe like high blood pressure, something like that, man. So it was like 4 out of the 5 are we can control the outcome of those situations. Like 4 out of the 5 top causes of death, we have control over. We can prevent them easily. And we sitting over here still dying. I'm talking high numbers. Like, listen, man, I always pull it up. I always pull up the stats, man. This was, I guess, the last time that they got the numbers from like 2019. So 2019, it was okay. No, chronic. There it is. Stroke. Okay, got you. It was heart disease, cancer, accidents, chronic lower respiratory diseases, stroke, and then even Alzheimer's, diabetes. We like listen. Outside of accidents, we can prevent all of that. And I'm talking about heart disease killing 659,000 a year. Like this is not over a period of years. This is how many people are dying of this stuff a year. Heart disease, do you know how simple it is to reverse and prevent heart disease? Real simple. But 659,000 of those of people are dying a year of that. Cancer, 599,000 dying a year of cancer. And they want to act like there are no cures out here for this stuff, man. Come on, man. Chronic lower respiratory diseases, 156,000. Stroke, 150,000. Alzheimer's, 121,000. Diabetes, 87,000. Man, this is like we in the millions dying yearly of things that if we just change our lifestyle, we could prevent. It's that simple. It's that simple, man. Like I can't stand it, man. I can't stand it. Yeah, you say stay hydrated, get lots of sun, read, walk, and steer clear of low vibrational energies, activities. That's the key. Your environment is the key. You gotta stay away. You gotta stay away from them negative and them toxic people, man. Because you could be doing everything else right, but if you got a toxic environment, you done. Like that's gonna consume you. That's gonna tear you up. Seeing me, the fall of America that Elijah was talking about, for sure. Yeah, Jamal, man, you either with it or you not. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no halfway nonsense. We ain't dealing with that. You either with it or you not. You either down with the cause or you not. We ain't got time for people straddling the fence. He reacts. There we go. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Renzo, 100% of the time, definitely balanced out. Definitely balanced. That's the subconscious, man. That's exactly what that is. Our brother Antonio, man, I know plenty of people like that. Then even still, like when they, it's just crazy the amount of people that I come in contact with that just tell me things like that, but they still not willing to do things to help with the situation. That's what be crazy to me. Man, Ken, I'm telling you, man, stroke, that's about to be another one of those common cold situations. Strokes. Like you ain't like when you get to a certain age, it's gonna be like, man, you ain't had a stroke yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how we gonna be talking. Like, you ain't had a stroke yet? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the new norm, man, to just have strokes and heart attacks and diabetes and stuff like that. Like, man, nobody got time for that. Like, we ain't gotta be going out like that. I'm talking about, man, I done seen people 1 week looking completely good, next week stroked out. They can't even talk now. Barely can walk. I done seen this, man. 1 week it's like conversation. We talking about all type of stuff. Then the next week, stroked and torn down. Can't walk, can't talk, need assistance to get into the bank. It's like, man, I done seen it all. Seen it all. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, Renoko Rashidi died of a heart attack, which is what I'm saying. It's like, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's no good to do all this. Like, it's just no good to do all this great work, but we're not taking care of our health, though. Like, we gotta take care of our health, man. We gotta take care of our health, man. We can't be watching people go before it's really time for them to go because they're not taking care of their health, man. Like, we gotta put our health first. You know what I'm saying? You really gotta do that, man, because you're not gonna be around to continue to push your message, man. Philly, to eat one meal every other day, like I said, like Elijah Muhammad was talking about. Like Elijah was talking about. Oh, Jamal, for sure. This the real power right here. Maize. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to vitamin D, I mean, you really, if you in a certain climate to where you can't get about 15, 20 minutes of sunlight every day, then I would probably recommend to supplement just to ensure that you are getting the proper amount of vitamin D. But if you are in a warmer climate, you should be good. You should be able to get 15 to 20 minutes of sun. But if you're not, then I would definitely recommend just supplementing the vitamin D just to be safe. Rather safe than sorry type deal, man. There's plenty of good vitamin D3 or D2 supplements out here. Now they also have, because, you know, vitamin D3 is typically animal based, but they do have some vegan versions of vitamin D3 in regards to the supplement. So make sure you get a plant-based version of the vitamin D3 if you do get the supplement. Or you could just get vitamin D2. That's the plant-based version of the vitamin. But they say the vitamin D2 is not as absorbable as the vitamin D3. So that's why it's better to just find the plant-based version or the vegan version of the D3. Yeah, Jamal, for sure. Don't be scared of the sun unless you literally are in a terrible climate. Like when it get real in the field where I'm at, it'd be hard to go out there and get that joint. So, you know what I'm saying? Supplementation becomes required. But you know what I'm saying? When it's the warmer months, we good to roll. And so I'm telling y'all, man, well, I'm telling you, watch when we start hitting like, you know what I'm saying? Just watching we 10 years from now, man, that's going to be, I'm telling people, that's going to be the conversation, bro. You ain't had no stroke. I done had about 2. I survived it, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't had no heart attack. You know, I done had 2. Like, man, I'm not finna engage in these type of conversations, man. Yeah, Dominique, I ain't got time for that, man. I ain't got time to be acting like my body is broken down, man. That's why I do what I need to do to take care of my body now, man. I'm not about to be one of them ones talking about, it's just age. Like, yeah, my knees hurt because it's age. Man, you ain't got to be accepting that reality, man. You 40, you 50. Like, your body ain't really supposed to be breaking down like that. It's just because you failed to take care of your body. That's what happened. They talk about black don't crack. Black cracks when you fail to take care of it. Hey, Kyra, man, most definitely. You say people are so comfortable with a low quality of life. Dangerous and sad. It's definitely dangerous for sure. You got to watch those people that's comfortable with the low quality, savage way of life. Can't be around those people. Cannot be around those individuals, man. That is real. That's a dangerous individual for sure. Dangerous individual for sure. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, my brother put out all this work, and you know what I'm saying, he was obviously overweight, things like that, man. He should have all the information. We got books called The Comedic Diet, you know what I'm saying, written by Muatai Ashby. It's like, man, you should have been reading that. Your ancestors, like, for the most part, if you study your ancestors, they wasn't overweight out here. They was, a lot of them was plant-based, man. So he should have been taking it seriously, man. Like, I don't appreciate that, man. You can't be doing all this knowledge for the people, man, and you not taking care of your health, man. Like, I can't stand it, man. I can't stand it at all. Kyle, what you say? Kyle, you got a question. You say, how does one say I guess not to attach to emotions or people? I mean, to me, it's quite easy. Like I broke down detachment the other day. A lot of times people hear detachment and they think of somebody that's heartless. Detachment is just saying, all right, if you in my life, cool. If you're not in my life, cool. So that's basically being cool no matter what the outcome is. And that's just how you got to be, because again, at the end of the day, man, nobody is guaranteed to be in your life. So you got to accept that reality. You got to accept that reality. And then emotions. Once you understand that nothing is really permanent, accept that reality, and it's going to make it that much easier to detach from your emotions. Nothing is permanent, and that includes your emotions. That includes your feelings. So allow them to just flow. Just pay attention to it, man. Your emotions really don't even last that long. Like when you analyze your emotions throughout the day, you probably will experience every emotion. You may have a period of time where you're a little upset. You may have a period of time where you're laughing. You may have a period of time where you think about something and get sad. Like you probably experience every emotion every day. None of them last the entire day. Guarantee you, if you really thoroughly just let everything flow, you're going to experience every type of emotion. Because that's the nature of emotions, man. They flow. So none of them are permanent. So why would you stop one and try to make it permanent? See, that's the problem. We stop the emotion, and that's when it becomes permanent. We say, boom, I'm sad. Why am I sad? This is a bad thing. No, it's not bad for you to feel sad, man. It's normal. But the moment you stop it and make it seem like it's a bad thing, now it's going to last a lot longer than it was going to last naturally, because you stopped it. You stopped it instead of letting it run its course. You got to if you let the emotions run their course, man, I'm telling you, no emotion is going to last that long. No emotion is going to last that long, man. So these emotions are not permanent. These feelings are not permanent, and nothing is permanent. Only thing permanent, like they say, is change. So embrace that. That's how you detach from all of this type of stuff, man. That's how you do it. You accept that reality because that's really the only reality. That's the only thing that's guaranteed, is that things will change. Things will change. Things will change. And I just let everything flow according to that. I don't look at when I get frustrated as, oh, that's bad, that's a negative. Nah, I'm just frustrated for a brief period of time. I'll get over it. Like, this frustration ain't gonna last. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I look at it, man. I don't stop these emotions. I don't stop my feelings. I will allow myself to feel all of this stuff because it's not going to last that long, man. So I just allow myself to feel however I decide to feel at that particular moment. So I don't attach myself to these feelings, because you attach yourself to feelings, you label it. You know what I'm saying? You label it. So I don't do all of that, man. That's how I detach from the emotions and people. Ain't me. There we go. There we go. So you see, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Shed a few tears, laugh, got angry. All in one day. You know what I'm saying? All in one day. All in one day. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we experience all these emotions in one day. Like, for real, man. I done had moments where I was a little annoyed today. Had moments where I was at peace. I'm cool. I had moments where I was a little frustrated. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of the day, man. It's the nature of the day. None of those feelings were better than the other, man. It's just how I was feeling. It's how I was feeling. Hey, Kyra, that's what I'm telling. Man, y'all always see. That's what I'm saying. If I would have been on YouTube about 10 years ago, man, y'all would have bear witness to this, man, because I was on all of this type of stuff. Like, what she talking about, like the stay positive mindset. Like, I came across it. Like, once I let go of the religion joint, I was reading all this spiritual information. That's why I say I ain't too fond of that crowd of people as well. And I can make a whole video in regards to why I say that. But I came across it. Oh man, just stay positive, woo, woo, woo. And then, man, the longer, like the more I started to look into that, I was like, man, this ain't right. I don't like this stay positive joint. It's with good intentions, but I don't like it. And that's the reason why I don't like it is what I just explained. Because when you have the stay positive mindset, they try to make you feel like when you have all the other emotions that I mentioned, you got to view those emotions as bad. Like, man, I done had some of my most creative moments and times when I was frustrated. But when you have the stay positive mindset, you supposed to neutralize the anger and the frustration. I ain't about neutralizing it. It's just about channeling it in the right direction. And that's what I would do with the anger, with the frustration, man. Just channel it in another direction. I don't have to neutralize it. I don't have to say, I'm not supposed to be angry right now. I got to think positive thoughts. Like, no, I don't have to do that. It's like I'm frustrated, so I'm going to write something. I'm going to express myself. And from that, I'm going to acquire a lot of jewels. So I'm telling you, I went through all of that. I went through all those phases, man. I went through all of those phases. That's why I say a lot of this stuff is just ridiculous. It's just feel good information, man. But a lot of that stuff really, when you look at it, it's just nonsense at the end of the day, man. Like, for real, man. Just allow yourself. That's why a lot of people be out here just depressed, because they be trying to stay positive. Like, no, you don't gotta try to stay positive, man. Positive and negative is a real way of life. So the negative is just as necessary as the positive. So I had to embrace that. I learned a lot from the negatives in life. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot from the negatives in life. I learned a lot about myself when I don't feel the best. Just like I learned a lot from myself when I do feel good. You know what I'm saying? So man, listen, it's that duality. It's that duality, man. So that's how I maneuver through life. I know that may not be the popular view. I know y'all may be saying I should be telling people to stay positive. That sounds good, but I ain't gonna do that. I ain't about to act like I'm the most positive person on the planet. Like, I look at things as in a more realistic light. I call myself a realist and things like that. I don't say I'm an optimist. I don't say I'm a pessimist. I say I'm a realist. Like, I deal with the reality of the situation. If somebody do something that I'm not too fond of, I'm not positive at that particular moment. I didn't appreciate what they did. It was annoying a little bit. It's cool for me to be annoyed by what they did because I wasn't too fond of it. I'm gonna get over being annoyed though. But if I try to act like it didn't annoy me, then I'm living a lie. Like, nah, I didn't appreciate what they did, rubbed me the wrong way. And then that allows me to ask myself questions. Is it really that serious? Should I really have gotten upset about it? Why do I not like when people do that? So then that's when you start to get in tune with yourself and things like that. Instead of viewing it as a negative or a positive, oh, I'm frustrated because such and such said something to me. I shouldn't be frustrated. Man, maybe you should have. Maybe what they said to you was wrong and they shouldn't have said it. And your frustration is warranted. If that frustration gonna last, it may last an hour or so. If that, you'll get over it. The wife is in the building. Y'all say peace to the wife. Original one, peace. What's happening? What's happening? Hey, peace, queen. What's going on? I didn't miss a lot of the comments, man. Y'all get me with the comments. I'm missing the bill. Y'all building. Y'all building right quick, man. Y'all building. I don't even know where to start. Yeah, Kai, be water, my friend Bruce Lee. Be water. You know what I'm saying? Be water. You know what I'm saying? They say what? Water takes the form of whatever it's in. Like sometimes you just got to do that. The sun, peace, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? And Kyrie, that's what I'm saying, man. People straight don't allow you to be human out here. And I feel like that's why depression is the way that it is. Because people honestly viewing it as depression to me is problematic. I don't view it as depression. I view it as just being normal. You know what I'm saying? Like being depressed about a situation. Like if you had a certain vision for your life and things ain't panning out according to that vision, like it's normal for you to be sad about that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's normal for you to be like, man, I'm a man and I ain't really able to take care of my family how I need to take care of them. That's a normal feeling. But that's you depressed. You suffering from depression. So now when you tell that person that they suffering from depression, they think something is wrong with them. And I think that's part of the problem. You got people thinking that something is wrong with them because they are sad about a situation that they probably should be sad over, as long as you don't remain in that state. But it's like the moment you diagnose them, I feel like that causes a lot more problems. But again, that's untraditional, unconventional. People like medical misinformation. But I honestly feel like if you just allow people to just say, man, all right, man, that's normal for you to be sad about that situation. And you just allow that emotion to come and go. Like I'm telling you, you're not going to sit in that depressed state. But the moment somebody, like I'm telling you, the people that I done chopped it up with that have been diagnosed with depression, it's like I feel like the diagnosis is killing them. The diagnosis is making them more depressed because psychologically they are accepting the fact that they're depressed. So when they do have these depressing thoughts, like it lasts a lot longer than it's supposed to last because somebody done told them that they suffer from depression. So it's almost like when a person that has cancer, they give them a certain amount of time to live and the person makes it right to that date or they die before because they accepted that time frame. They said, man, you got 6 months to live. And a person accepts that. They may not even make it to 6 months. They may die 4 months after the fact because they accepted the reality. Oh, wow, they could live a lot longer than that expectancy that they gave. But if you accept the time frame they give you, you probably going to live right along those lines. So I feel like depression is the same way. When somebody tells you you have been diagnosed with depression, that makes it like 20 times worse because now that person feel like they legit got a problem. So every time that they are sad, they feel like it's not normal to be sad. And they supposed to be happy all the time. They supposed to be positive all the time. There is nobody on the planet. I don't know anybody on the planet that doesn't have depressing thoughts. I don't know anybody on the planet that doesn't stress. Like, I don't know anybody on the planet like that, man. We all have stresses in our life. I feel like we all have those moments where we are depressed and having those type of thoughts. Like for real, man, we got to stop writing those things off as something that's abnormal because it's really not. It's really not. It is literally not. As long as you take, again, just channel it. Channel that energy in another direction. That's it. Montel, that's what I call it. That's what I call it. Toxic positivity, man. And Dominique, that's what I'm saying, man. Like I don't see them joints as being problems, man. Like a lot of times, man, you got wise minds that are so-called depressed and all that. People think that they got problems. What's crazy is I feel like the whole world has problems, you know, honestly. So we got a bunch of people that have problems trying to tell everybody else they depressed. That's what be funny. That's what be funny to me. You got people that ain't got their own life in order, ain't got their own emotions in check, telling other people that they depressed and judging them based off of that. Come on, man. Like that don't really make sense to me for real, to be honest with you. But I know that's not popular. I already know what I already know. Man, I'm tapping into the comments right now, man. Y'all know how I go. Oh yeah, Antonio, yeah, Nas, man, with that Nas quote for sure. And Kyrie, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The realistic perspective, like people don't like that, and that's how I'm gonna pretty much come. Like, I'm one of the ones, like, if you suffering from a loss, a family member, like the only thing you're gonna really get is that I'm sending positive vibes your way. In regards to how to deal with the situation, I'm not gonna tell you, I'm not one of the ones that everything gonna be okay. Can't promise you that. It depends on how you deal with the situation. Like, I can't promise you everything gonna be okay. If you lost somebody that was near and dear to you, man, I really literally cannot promise you everything will be okay. So I'm not gonna say that. I'm literally not going to, I'm not going to give you that advice. I'm not going to soup your head up and say everything is going to be okay. I don't know. You probably gonna have a lot of moments where you're thinking about this person that's probably gonna make you sad. Like, that's expected. You know what I'm saying? When you lose a person that's close to you, that ain't something that you just get over. That's something that you learn to cope with, you know, and coping with it ain't gonna necessarily be the easiest thing. It ain't gonna necessarily mean things are getting better for you. It is what it is. You got to cope with the fact that a person that you fool with is no longer here. I don't expect for everybody to live by the law of detachment like I do. So if I see that you were attached to said person, I'm not gonna promise you nothing like that. Yeah, man, hey, everything gonna be all right. Everything gonna be better. I don't know that. If y'all had a strong relationship, man, it just may not, you know. I want you to cope with it in a powerful light, but I can't promise you that. Only you can promise yourself that. Only you can promise yourself that. So I don't even do all of that, man. I just say, man, sending positive energy or sending my condolences. That's about all you finna get from me. Other than that, man, I don't have much to say. You lost somebody that you was attached to. That can go a lot of different ways. And it's up to you in regards to which way that goes. So that's the power is in your hand. All I can do is send condolences. That's literally it. The wife out here eating the vegan cookies, therefore she gonna have to drive to get some more cookies. The real supreme justice for sure. Blind leading the blind, sick leading the sick. I mean, all of that. Dumb leading the dumb, ignorant leading the ignorant. I mean, it's just all of that. It's all of that. All of that. Sherry for sure. Yeah, we doing two a days, man. We doing two a days. Torenzo for sure. Definitely right and exact. Man, Tay, that's what I'm saying, man. Listen, these therapists, man, they be suffering more than the people that they treat. It's just like these doctors be sicker than the patients that they treat. You know, that stuff is crazy. That's why literally, that's why I became my own therapist and my own healer, man, because it's like at the end of the day, man, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I just really don't. I went to enough doctors, man. I did all this type of stuff and nobody really was helpful. You know what I'm saying? It only became helpful when I started taking matters into my own hand. That's when it became helpful to me. When I just started taking this stuff into my own hands. When I started studying and researching and things like that, man, just start mastering the mind. Like that's when things started to change for me. Other people, man, just come with a bunch of problems, man. A lot of people trying to put on masks and things like that. And when you tapped in, you see right through the mask. Like it's just, I ain't had time for that, man. And you just start feeling the vibes, feeling the energy. It throws you off. I ain't got time for that, man. I ain't had time for it. Oh, Jason, yeah, most definitely. That's part of it, man. We gotta walk it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta walk it. We gotta put the knowledge into motion to transfer it to wisdom, man. Like that's what we gotta. That's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. I'm Unique, my brother. Peace. But that's how I be though. All right, Jay, what you got a question? You say, hey, so from your perspective, if you ask a woman out on a date and you're not trying to rush the sex and learn more about her, would you keep taking her out multiple times? For sure. I mean, if you say if you ask a woman out on a date, you're not trying to rush sex and learn more about her. Yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah, you want to keep building with her. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep doing that. You want to keep doing that for sure. See what I'm saying? That's the peer pressure I'm talking about. She trying to get me off the lie, but we got stuff to build on. So you eat, control the hunger. You ain't hungry, man. You just ate something. Told y'all about this hunger. Like we not hungry out here. Stop it. Sherry, for sure, for sure. We own it today. We own it. Like I said, man, I'm tapped in, man. I'm tapped in. That's why I've been every day you look up, I'm probably streaming, man, because I'm tapped in. When I told y'all knowledge was infinite, I meant it, man. So I'm tapped back into that source, man. That source, man. I can go for days, man, just talking about some of this stuff, man, because again, I'm tapped in. I understood that knowledge was infinite. There is never a dull moment, man, when you just value learning and things of that nature. And I also, just in peace, what's going on? I also wanted to share another book with y'all, man. I shared my other book, man, about uh, subconscious mind and your infinite power to be rich. But here go another book. It's pertaining to health and the herbs. Get this book right here. Planetary Herbology. Get this book. I'm telling you, it break down the herbs, man. Get this book right now. Planetary Herbology. And Your Infinite Power to Be Rich, the book that I posted on the community wall. Get that and get Planetary Herbology, man. This book is a jewel, man. It breaks down all the herbs. I mean, it gives you concoctions to treat almost everything, man. It gives you all type of concoctions in this joint, man. Like you open this joint up right now, man. Let me just find the joint right now that it helps with. I mean, it tell you to create concoctions to treat everything from asthma, allergies, cancers, and tumors, cold, simple fevers, cardiac problems, high blood pressure, coughs, bronchitis, digestive problems, headaches, impotence, infertility, hepatitis, infections, all that, man. Menstrual irregularities, influenza, like even overweight and obesity, stress, insomnia, all that, skin diseases. It give you concoctions to treat all these joints. Give you all type of concoctions, man. Tell you what herbs to utilize for all of this, man. So it's a good resource, man. It's a very good resource. And then it breaks down all the herbs, well, a lot of the herbs that's out here. Like it breaks down like the active constituents in them. And if y'all know something about like Eastern medicine, meridians and things like that, that's basically what body part benefits the most from the herb. And it lets you know what they are used for. So it breaks down a lot. I'm talking about a lot of herbs, a lot of herbs, a lot of herbs broken down in this book, man. So Planetary Herbology, man, get this book. If you into the holistic healing and all that, grab that book before they discontinue that joint. It ain't even that expensive. It may be like $11 or something on Amazon, man. So grab that joint. Grab that joint. Do the knowledge. Do the knowledge to that book right there. Yeah, planetary herbology. Y'all know I'm telling y'all, man, one day y'all gonna I feel like an underappreciated part of my life over the years is the fact that I think I have recommended almost every book that I've like ever read. A lot of times, man, these conscious dudes be all giving all this information out, but a lot of them do not show their sources, the books that they read, where they get their information from. I think I'm probably one of the most open ones as far as like people I watch. I think I'm one of the most open ones, man, that have shared most of the books that they read. Like if I get a book, I share it, I post it, I let people know about it. A lot of times I don't see a lot of other brothers that do that, at least on the level in which I've been posting books over the years. Man, I will post books soon as I come in contact with it, soon as I finish reading it. Book is posted. I'm telling people to go get it. So I don't make it seem like I'm tapped into some source that only I can connect with and connect to. No, I'm letting you know I got the information from this book. Go grab this book. Sherry, for sure. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's definitely unreasonable expectations about having to be happy all the time. And I was reading a book that was talking about the extremes in regards to being like overly sad and being overly happy. A lot of people don't feel like it's toxic to be overly happy and overly positive, but it actually is. Those are the two extremes. You can be overly sad, you can be overly happy. You know what I'm saying? That's why we strive to be centered. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always tell people if people would ask me like, are you happy? I'm like, no, I'm centered. I'd rather be centered. I'd rather be at peace than like happy. You know what I'm saying? So I identify with being at peace and being centered. To me, that's more beneficial than being happy. You know, I look at being happy as like an emotion that's temporary, like a response to something. Oh, this happened to me. It made me happy. You know what I'm saying? Or it triggered my happiness. I feel like being centered is more so a way of life. You know, it's your essence, man. So that's how I pretty much look at that. Yeah, Antonio, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they kind in the community. No, they kind in the community big time, man. But I'm telling man, I would recommend every book that I've ever read. At least I try to for the most part, man. If you go on my Facebook, you probably gonna catch every book that I've read. I'll be posting them, man. Sometimes I double post them joints because I'm not even sure if I posted it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be doing that. I share the knowledge. Now, if y'all don't go get the books, then that's on y'all. But I'm sharing the book. You can't say that I ain't never shared the book. So if somebody want to question what I said, man, I posted it. I posted where I got it from, so you can argue with the book. Jason, peace. What's happening? That's one thing. That's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm going to post my sources every time. Zeke, man, my Facebook, you can just look me up by name, ERICBELL, and you should be able to find me. Dwayne, there we go. There we go. You know what I'm saying? Just ordered 1252. That's nothing considering the jewels you're gonna grab from the book, man. Considering the jewels you're gonna grab from the book, it's nothing. That's nothing. That's light work. That's light work because you are about to get nothing but jewels from that particular book. So that book is a jewel, man. Planetary herbology. Oh yeah, and tell you that How Not to Die. That book is right behind me. How Not to Die. That's another one of my joints, man. That's another one of my favorite joints when it comes to the topic of health. That How Not to Die, man, is that joint. And then that Healing with Whole Foods. That's another joint. That's a little thicker joint, but that mug, man, they got that information. They got that information. So sometimes, man, you gotta get these books while you can, because you know at the end of the day you will look up. Next thing you know, you can't find these books, man, or they $800. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get these books while they kind of low in the price. Because when they start seeing a lot of people gravitating towards this information, you're going to either not see that book anymore. Like I said, man, that book going to be a couple $100. You're like, whoa, it was just 11. Now it's $500 to get the same book. So when I recommend these books, man, get them. Get them while some of them are cheap. Get them while some of them are cheap. There's some books right now that I got that they not so cheap. Like when I got them, man, it was cheap. Now they $600, $700, or you can't find them, you know. So get them. Get some of these books, man, while they are low in price, because they do not like when black people start gravitating towards information. They don't like that. They don't like when black people start gravitating toward information. When we start gravitating towards the information, that's when you start seeing the price of the book go up. It skyrockets. So we can't afford that, man. Just grab the book, man. The moment I mention it, grab it. The moment I mention it, man, that's when it's time to grab it. Dean, Medical Apartheid was one of those first books that I read when I was coming into the knowledge. Man, I read that book about 10 plus years ago. Yes, sir. That is one of the reasons why I already didn't trust that industry, but that's one of the reasons why I don't, because that book. And then when I read the book Bad Blood, that broke down into Tuskegee, like that experiment. So I read those two books. It was Medical Apartheid and it was Bad Blood. Those two books, all I needed to read. All I needed to read. Those two books is all I needed to read. Like, that's literally all I needed to read. The moment I read Bad Blood, man, like the jewel I gathered from Bad Blood, what really made me open my eyes was the fact that they had a lot of black people that had syphilis, but they didn't inform them that they had it, because they were using them as guinea pigs to see how untreated syphilis what type of damage it would cause. So you withheld that information from the people that had the ailment and disease, so you can study what the disease would do or what the virus would do if left untreated. That's when I was like, I really don't trust them, because now I can have an ailment, have a disease, and they don't tell me because they running a test. It's an experiment. So they told you went to the doctor. They like, nah, you good. You just got the flu. Whole while you got some form of cancer, but they don't want to tell you because they conducting this experiment to see if the cancer is left untreated in black people, what it will do. So then next thing you know, you come back 5 months later and now they properly diagnose you, but it's almost too late. So that right there is when I was like, nope, don't trust anybody. When they tell me I'm good, I don't trust it, because they good is sick to me. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped trusting them right when I read that in the book. The fact that they withheld the information from the people. So they had syphilis, they just didn't tell them that they had it. That was sick. That's sick, man. That's sick. And it's a lot of people that's getting misdiagnosed for that reason. They conducting experiments. You going in there, man, they telling you, nope, you got back spasms. You ain't got cancer. Whole while they know that you probably got the cancer. You come back 5 months later, you got cancer at its worst stage, its worst phase, man, and you ain't gonna make it much longer. They was conducting an experiment on it. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. So if you go to the doctor and they tell you that everything is cool, you just got this, that, and the third, you just need to take this, man, you can't trust that. Justin, man, yes, sir. I got that book. Matter of fact, I quoted that book some streams ago. I normally had that book right up on me, but yeah, hold on, Justin, where you at? Justin, you talking about this joint right here, that book right, Bobby. 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof. You know what I'm saying? I stay booked up out here, man, but that book was right, Bobby. I done quoted this book a few times, man. It's a very powerful book, man. 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof. Shout out to J.A. Rogers, man. Shout out to J.A. Rogers. But I had that book right up on me, man. I keep that book in the chamber. I keep that book in the chamber, man. That book got some information. Oh, yeah, Dwayne, they don't want to. Matter of fact, you know what's crazy? You got, if it like probably about 1% of the doctors out here give you some decent advice. But I had some people that they told me that their doctor pretty much said that. Like, man, if you go plant-based, then you know what I'm saying? Like, your condition will do this, that, and the third. But that's a very small percentage. And the only doctor that would say or recommend something like that is one that did knowledge outside of the curriculum that they were forced to undergo to get certified to be a doctor. So they had to do their own type of information, their own type of knowledge. And they probably not popular amongst other doctors. You know what I'm saying? If you find a doctor that's out here promoting a plant-based lifestyle, I guarantee you his cohorts are not too fond of him. They don't like him. They like, man, this dude out here, Dr. Such and Such, telling everybody to go plant-based. Sherry, for sure. It was that's the thing. Some of them, they gave some of them syphilis. Some of them already had syphilis. They just did not tell them. So it was some people that got injected with it that they gonna deny that. They're gonna deny that happened. But it was also some black people at that time during that study that already had syphilis, but they told them that they just had bad blood, so they lied to them. So they even lied to the people that they injected with it, but it was already some people that had syphilis that they lied to them and told them that they didn't have it. So that also happened. So it was both of that. So it wasn't that all the black people that were part of that experience were injected. It was definitely some that already had syphilis that easily could have been treated. They just was like, nah, you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got this. They lied to them about what they actually had. So it was all of that. It was a certain percentage of people that were actually injected. I forgot the percentage, but it wasn't 100%. It was some people that already had it. It was some black people that already had syphilis. In that experiment, they just never told them. They just never told them. So then when you do it like that, in our mind, like, they injected everybody, but it was like, nah, some people actually had it already. They just lied to them. And at that point, you might as well had injected them with it, you know. If we doing a study, like, and you ain't telling me I got the cancer, like, and I believe you, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna believe you. And next thing you know, I'm gonna die of this cancer. But you told me I had back spasm. But that right there, like, nah, that whole experiment, when I read that book, I was like, nah, I'm good. I already don't rock with y'all and trust y'all now, but I really don't. I really don't do it now. Dean, you already know. Behold the pale horse, you already know. you almost can't even be with the knowledge in regards to like politics and things like that and not had either heard of that book or read that joint. It's crazy. Some people say that dude that wrote that book was an informant. It's crazy. Like, they said he was paid to spread misinformation in regards to that particular book. That's what's crazy about that. Like, I don't know if you know the knowledge to do, but they literally say that dude was paid to put out that book to misinform the people. And that's funny. Like, that's funny. When I heard that, I said, dang, man, like, y'all will say anything when they start putting the truth out. Like, man, he was paid to put that out, put that information out to, you know what I'm saying, to mislead the people and things like that. But yeah, Dean, you already know I know about that book. Yeah, King Me, yep, that's what they say. He ex-CIA agent. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? Like, therefore, they were saying that dude's an agent and you can't trust the information in that book. Basically using that as a way to discredit him. So yeah, I seen a lot of that probably some years ago. They say, honestly, it's crazy because they say that about most people that write books that reveal that type of information. They always say that such and such is an agent. It's like, dude, everybody that come out with a book that's exposing like the government and they plans, now all of them are agents. It's like, wow, like that's funny. That's funny to me. Oh, King Me for sure. Yeah, yeah, Jason. Yeah, no, I definitely didn't agree with it, but that was what people were saying. And I thought that was funny. I thought it was funny, man. Like, if anything, man, that meant like he was like he infiltrated. So he was part of the CIA. He got the information, spilled the beans, and that's what ends up happening to him after that. That's all she wrote when you do that. And you gotta think. The only way we gonna get some of that information is if somebody on the inside comes out and reveals that information. We not in the CIA. We ain't part of the FBI. So the only way that we gonna actually get the proper information is from somebody that was within it. And they come out and they say, I'm tired of it, so I'm gonna give y'all the information. So that's that's really the only way we gonna get access to that type of information. But yeah, I definitely recommend reading that joint, man. Like The Art of War, read that, and then basically to just get hip to the wicked ways and actions of these folks out here. 48 Laws of Power, that's a good one. The Prince, y'all know that joint. The Prince is definitely a nice joint, man. In regards to just studying war, because that's where we are at. We are at war, so those are like good books, man. If you're trying to just learn about war. The Prince is one of the first books I read. I didn't understand it when I was reading it. Then I had to read that book like 4 times. I had to read that book like 4 times, man, for me to really grasp what the book was about. The reason I read that book in the first place is because Tupac, Machiavelli is where he got the name from. So I just read that joint, man. And man, you read that joint a few times, you like, okay, you start seeing why that book is highly recommended as far as just like studying war. And a lot of times it's beneficial to study war from the European perspective, because then now you learning how they move. So that's why I was studying the books like that, written by them, because now they revealing the way that they move in these books. So now you mastering their warlike mentality. So therefore you can master them when you at war with them. So when I'm studying the war books, I'm studying it from their perspective, because then it makes it easy to predict how they gonna move when it's wartime. That's why 48 Laws of Power. That's why The Prince. That's why The Art of War. Like, that's why these books are beneficial, because they live and die by the information in those books. I don't need to study. Like, I can study war from an African perspective, but I got to study it from the enemy's point of view as well. If you want to master the enemy, you got to study the enemy. That's one of the ways they were able to master us. They studied us. That's in our lessons, man. They studied the original man. So we got to study them. You know what I'm saying? In order to not get tricked. So we got to study them just like they studied us. That's how you master the enemy. That's how you gain your control back. King Me, yup, right, yeah, 33 Laws of War. Or is it 33 Strategies of War? It's one of them joints, but yeah. Yeah, that the Prince is nice. Prince is nice though. Yeah, Mark, I definitely feel like it got to be translated into a more modern concept, because when I was reading it back then, like, I was like, man, what is this book saying to me? But I had to read it. I had to read that several times, and I feel like everybody like that. Everybody I came across said they had to read that a few times to grasp what the book was really saying, because it's just like outdated. Hey, Rika Chanel, peace, Queen. What's happening? What's happening? Appreciate you. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in. But yeah, I had to read that joint several times for me to really grasp it. But I definitely recommend it though, man. Definitely recommend it. Like I said, I got a long list of books that I recommend, man. But with that being said, man, I done served my time, man. I did it 2 a day. This was a powerful stream. A very powerful stream. I appreciate all the comments. Dialogue is always peace. I'm finna tap on out for the night, man. It's been a long week for the kids, so I just want to tap in, give y'all some information, motivation, recommendations, all that good stuff, man. So y'all, man, y'all enjoy the rest of this Saturday, man. I'm gonna give y'all this Saturday night, let y'all chill on out, man. I ain't about to information overload y'all, man. So y'all can chill on out for the rest of y'all Saturday. Do whatever it is y'all want to do. Do some knowledge, relax, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna catch y'all, man. Me and the wife probably gonna stream tomorrow for sure. So make sure y'all tune in to that joint, because y'all know how I get, man. I'll probably be in vent mode once again. So if y'all want to see me be in vent mode, make sure y'all tune into her channel tomorrow, because we definitely going to be live and in effect. But I'm out, y'all. Enjoy the rest of this Saturday, man. I appreciate y'all. Peace.